Yeah, what's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Prison Break Raw. I'm your host, the one and only Big JD. Now, this is some Mafia type shit, some straight gangland type of behavior that's going on. This kind of thing is only really, technically, and usually reserved for a banana republic or a third world country or a country that's so corrupt to the very core that anytime a judge rocks the boat or tries to challenge the status quo, they are killed, their families killed, and all that. Rarely, if ever, do you hear such a thing happening in the United States, but it seems now that the celebrity elite power structure has shifted its tactics into a more gangsta mode. By targeting this Judge Salas, Esther Salas, federal court judge in New Jersey that, coincidentally, is presiding over the Deutsche Bank dealing with the Jeffrey Epstein drama. So this guy, who they have now got a suspect, who just happens to be an anti-feminist, by the way, apparently is the guy caught with the smoking gun. Well, he wasn't exactly caught because they found his dead body in his home. Wow, who would have ever thought they would have found the guy dead? It seems that all of the shootings of things that they don't want the suspect to be held accountable for because obviously they know something and they're going to say something that is going to blow the lid off of what's going on. They die. Think of the guy that executed, that sniped the elderly couple in the cemetery. They mysteriously found him dead in the bushes. How about the guy several years ago, the guy that was talking about Black Lives Matter, that was shooting at all the cops and everybody in, I think it was Dallas. This was back in 2016. He ends up dead too. But yet they catch people like Dylan Roof, the guy that shot up the Walmart, and other places like that, nut jobs. But it seems like calculated attacks, for some reason, the person always ends up dead. Have you ever wondered why? Well, here's another one of those cases. So Esther Salas was presiding over this Deutsche Bank, or douche bank, I like to call it, that was dealing with Jeffrey Epstein's money. Anything and all things connected to the finances of Jeffrey Epstein, she was presiding over that case. A man knocks at the door. Her son answers it, is shot and killed. Her husband shot and wounded. And then he poses as a FedEx driver, delivery driver. How they found him is beyond me, but they did. They traced him all the way back to his home where they found his dead body, self-inflicted gunshot wound. But guess what? The FedEx package was found sitting right next to him. Strange, isn't it? But then here comes the celebrity elite power structure and his media lapdogs to the rescue again to spin the story. And the first thing that they're saying is, oh, here comes all the conspiracy theorists with their tinfoil hats. Why has it always got to be a conspiracy theory? I don't see the media or anybody in the government having a problem with tying a couple of gang members to a drug conspiracy. I don't see the media having a problem with tying big homies that are in the shoe to a conspiracy. I don't see them having a problem with tying the Mafia into conspiracy and Ricos and everything else. But anytime you challenge any of their mess, their drama, their dirt, it's a conspiracy theory. Why does it got to be a conspiracy theory? Why can't this guy just have been hired to off this lady? To shut her up? Maybe she was prying into something that she shouldn't have been prying into. Maybe she was denying motions that would have gotten this thing swept under the rug and disposed of with the quickness. I mean, we don't know. Because we're at the mercy of the media. Now, in all fairness to this, there's a lot of people that's tied into this douchebag bank. Clintons, all kinds of other celebrity elite power structure, fist fucking, gerbil racing, golden shower molesting politicians and celebrities. But even Donald Trump's tied into this bank. So if you remember what I said before, once upon a time, that the celebrity elite power structure, the elites are engaged in a brutal civil war right now. And it's looking almost like that Trump and anything that is surrounding that is on one side and the rest of them are on the other. But I can guarantee you this, in this celebrity elite power structure civil war that's going on, Trump's getting his fucking ass handed to him. He's getting his clock clean. He's getting molly-whopped all the way across the board. I mean, it's kind of like that little fringe group that broke off somewhere in like the California prison system. Tried to start its own thing. Was always outnumbered, but still hung on. What the outcome is going to be in all of this, who knows? But the walls are closing in on a lot of these people with a lot of this stuff. But here's the thing. What better way to sweep everything under the rug and get rid of everything than to have a pandemic and a pre-race war on top of that to throw logs into the fire to distract everybody from what's going on? Because the distractions are real. It's like all we hear about is all the protests, what's going on, secret, privatized police, of which they're not secret and they're not privatized. They're actual government agencies that the president really does have the power to deploy in a civil insurrection or civil disobedience type of a deal, an uprising. And it's kind of like the protests and the language that's being used in them is people that are talking about overthrowing the country. So with language like that, under the Patriot Act and all these other provisions and things that the government has within its power, the presidency, for the most part, can deploy federal agencies in order to stop this insurrection. They have it within their power. Just to play the devil's advocate on that one, it's not a privatized army. They're not a bunch of mercenaries. It's not G.I. Joe. It's government agencies. And it's funny that the arrests that they made, I've seen the pictures of them. It almost looks like they're informants. They're taking informants into custody. So all these distractions that are going on, meanwhile, we got Ghislaine Maxwell, the body of Jeffrey Epstein, a whole lot of celebrities that are shitting in their pants, and an island of pedophilia that was straight fucking Big Brother was all around it, cameras everywhere. There's a lot of people that are nervous right now. There's a lot going on. There's a lot more that's getting ready to come out, and a lot of these different investigations that are taking place that is making a lot of people very uneasy and very uncomfortable. It could possibly shift the Civil War in the opposite direction, where it appears that the people on the Trump side of this celebrity elite Civil War is losing. But they could change the tides real fast with all the things that are coming out. However, the only people that would even have the balls to report on any of this that's going on is now in a bunch of deep shit themselves. Look what's happening with Tucker Carlson and Sean Hannity. Now, I'm not a fan of either one of these shows. Personally, I think both of them have a very primitive, barbaric, often ancient view of criminal justice. They believe in this locking them up and throwing away the key and taking away everything. They're just throwing them out on the streets with nothing, kind of like what they did to me. They believe along those lines, and I've often reached out to them to try to maybe go on their show and convince them that that approach don't work. But they've ignored me, so fuck them. Just like the rest of the mainstream media, I don't give a shit about them. But the thing of it is they're the only ones that will push the propaganda for Donald Trump in his part of this revolution or this civil war that's going on with these celebrities. And now it looks like they're being executed. They're being taken out to the gallows with all this sex scandal shit that's going on that most people know is bullshit. But it's how they fight. You got to understand the tactics that goes on in espionage. The other side will send a sleeper agent into the camp, maybe disguised as a beautiful woman, to seduce one of these people. Take them up into the room. Usually in the old days, they'll just shoot them or stab them. You always seen those old James Bond movies. Ain't nothing new. So they'll take one of these people up in there because they know they think with their dick, like most men do. They'll get them caught up in taking pictures and having sex and doing all these things, and then they'll turn around and say that they raped them. These are old school tactics. Only in the old days, they didn't say he raped him. They would take him up there and kill him. Like I said. But they're getting rid of all of the people that are going to be reporting on these things that are going to be coming out in the coming months. You will never hear about them unless you're watching C-SPAN, of which I seriously doubt you will be. So you'll never hear about all these things that are coming out. How Hillary Clinton has got to go in front of a grand jury and testify and all this stuff. You're not going to hear about any of it because the opposition in the media, they're vanquishing right now. They're doing a very fine job of it. So this whole Deutsche Bank thing and this Jeffrey Epstein mess and this judge, it was a hit. It was a clear hit that was put out on her. This guy did not act alone. I could guarantee you that. But he was unsuccessful, but who knows? Maybe he was successful. Maybe that was the plan all along. The shock and awe value of it. I'd be interested in seeing what happens with this whole case now. What is this Judge Salas going to recuse herself? Is she going to take herself off the case now that she's been a target? How many more judges are we going to see that are going to be set for execution or assassination? Straight Mafia-style hits. The celebrity elite power structure has shifted its tactics and has become straight gangster with this shit. Meanwhile, they're turning all of us against each other along the lines of race, religion, and otherwise, so that we're completely distracted from this internal feud, this family feud that they're going through. Because make no mistakes, Trump is just as much a part of the celebrity elite power structure as the rest of them. The only difference is somewhere there was a rift between the two. And now what we see before us is a result of all that. And it's like I said, I would be willing to almost bet money that they let Donald Trump win just so that they can have a villain. A straw man in order to bring about all of this change that's coming down the line. And most people are stupid. I mean, look at the country. At least 50% of the country would be more than happy to take this coronavirus vaccine without even knowing the full facts behind the vaccine itself. When a bunch of people are saying, man, there's something not right about this whole vaccine thing. There's something not right about it. Instead of investigating into it, they're like, you're just a bunch of tinfoil hat nut jobs. This is the world we're living in right now, people. Ain't it crazy? Judges being marked for fucking assassination, a straight Mafia-style hit put out on them. The dude just is discovered. They can't find the killer of a guy who ran over a kid on a bicycle down the street, on a well-lit up street at an intersection. They can't find the guy that ran him over. But yet they found this dude within a couple of days. I find that odd, don't you? And then, of all things, wow, look, it must be him, like some Inspector Gadget type shit. Look at the package is right there. It has to be him. Wow, man, so gullible a bunch of these people are. It's no wonder I got a whole bunch of fucking sissies in one of my last videos, leaving a bunch of freaking emotionally charged rants in the comments section. People are dumb, man. Most people in this country are just fucking stupid. Straight fucking retardation. I mean, that's what it is. If you believe that this is all conspiracy theory and you believe that these are all just some fucking happy accidents and coincidences and all that every single time, you are freaking straight stupid, man. And you will believe that I got swampland in Arizona for sale at 25 cents an acre. Prison Break Raw, uncut, uncensored, no holds barred, non-sugarcoat, not politically correct, all up in your face, slapping you with that dick of reality. And I'm out.